The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. This is episode 175 of the Heart of LAFC Podcast. We're going to call this one a strengthened foundation for many reasons. But before we get into the football and into why we're all here, we got a few things we need to say, get off our chest. First and foremost, I'd like to dedicate this episode to my brother, Mauricio Facio, who is on the mend for certain in a battle. And we want you guys, definitely, if you can, please send your prayers, please send your love. He does so much for this organization, so much for all of us that, yeah, definitely send your prayers his way, okay? The other thing I wanted to mention is that we need to address a growing issue, huge issue going on right now, and that's hate crimes against the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. This has to stop, no doubt about that. And the Heart of LAFC, we stand shoulder to shoulder with the community to battle any way we can to help in this process and in this battle, because that is what it is. And we will be vigilant, and we are allies all the way. Now it's time to talk some football and welcome everybody onto this show. First of all, I'd like to welcome back the Heart of LAFC team of Christine Kwan, Cesar Gonzalez, and Jason Ariano. How are you guys doing today? Everybody doing well?
Doing good. Great.
Good. And of course, jumping on, you all see who's on screen right now. It is, yes, we are so blessed to be joined by absolute club legends, true change makers for the black and gold, Larry Freedman, who is co-president and chief business officer for the Los Angeles Football Club, and Rich Orosco, who is the executive vice president of brand and community for the Los Angeles Football Club. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Dude, it is an absolute honor to have you guys. Exactly. Cheers to you. Really, I think the last time, Larry, we had you on was episode 17, way back in the day.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that
I know. And I think that was just Jerry at the time, right?
It was just little Jerry, yeah.
Little Jerry. That's a Seinfeld reference.
He's like throwing the daggers right now. That's for certain. Love it. But basically, guys, people got to know, when you talk about LAFC Day One, it's you guys. You're the change makers that brought it to us and gave us the opening and the ability to be this unified community, to be a part, right? And it is the one-on-one. It is the building. And it's because of guys like you. You're the reason why this happened. I remember first day I met Rich. I came in kind of an attitude, right? He kind of laughed about it.
You were flexing.
Flexing a little bit, no doubt.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, dude, it was, jaded from other experiences, I guess you could say. And I kind of went hard on him. And the first thing he tells me is, what do you want from this club?
You can't find love, Joseph, until you forget your past. You got to get over the past to find love.
And this is a club that lets that happen, that fosters it, right? There's no doubt. So, I came at him hard, and he came back at me with the exact right way of hitting me back. And long story short, we've traveled the world together. So,
yeah, we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful. It definitely beautiful. And Larry, again, going the extra mile, giving us that much room to do what we do, to be supporters, respecting and loving the culture. Let's be honest, it's love to get us where we are today. So, again, thank you guys. And, again, it is a pleasure to have you on. I did want to ask you, Larry, how have you been doing in this crazy lead up to the 2021 season?
Well, I've been feeling better and better every day. It wasn't that long ago when people were asking the question, like, are you even going to have a season, right? We had the players union in the league going through a process, and nobody knew what was going to happen. And, the vaccine was just beginning to roll out, and numbers weren't yet dropping like a rock. And, fast forward a few weeks, a couple of months, and we're in the red tier, and we know that on opening day we can have a socially distanced crowd of 20%, which, it's funny, man. After a year of this, your perspective and expectations and what will really make you smile kind of changes. And, the notion of 4,000 people at Bank of California Stadium sounds pretty friggin' good right now.
Yeah.
And I know that there is great momentum with the vaccine. There is, good returns on the numbers that matter in terms of cases, et cetera. And there's a pretty good feeling that maybe even by the time the baseball season starts, the Angels start on opening day at the beginning of April. I think the Dodgers' first homestand is about a week later. So there's a fair amount of belief that somewhere in there, we may get into the orange tier. And then you're talking 33%. And again, as a guy who lives and dies by sellout crowds, the notion that 33% would like really tickle me is kind of weird. But, and as Rich knows, after a year of, it's not like we weren't doing anything because we were adapting. We were trying different ways to engage, virtual this, virtual that, things out in the community. We did have a season. We did finish Champions League in a bubble. But, we got opening day in less than a month. And now that we know fans are going to be back and we've got a bunch of new things inside the club with partners and whatnot, it's busy. It's really busy and it feels pretty good.
The buzz, that's what's key, right? You have to have that feeling or it's just not right. Mm-hmm. And from what I've seen already, no doubt the buzz is there. I think all of us here, we just can't wait to get it back in there. And again, it's your vigilance that's helping us get back to there. So thank you, Larry.
Sure.
Rich,
cheers
I want to
to that.
Yes, cheers. No
and
doubt
also,
about it.
shots, everyone. Just kidding.
Oh, nice mug, Rich Orosco.
There
I like
it
it.
is.
I knew
got water.
Joseph Sacker would like that.
Looks rather familiar. Yeah, the only problem is every time I see it, I'm looking down.
But this is the split mug.
Ooh,
And that's
wow.
that's
Nice.
Yeah, find that one.
About to rob
Find
that
one.
from you.
Exactly.
I got one. No, it's again, you guys know how I am with Dortmund. It's sporting rivalry, but absolute respect and love for what they do because they do it right. And that's where we're at, right? We learn.
I still got your jersey too. It's been over a year now. So.
Yes, he's got a Bayern jersey that's black and gold sitting in his trunk that I just gotta get over to the man to get it. I know, right? Right.
And we live close to each other, and I work like 10 minutes from you.
He probably drives by my house every day. I'm almost. So that's on me. I own that. Rich, I wanted to ask you, man, because I know you've been all over the place in the lead up to this season. How have you been doing?
I think by now, and I'm sure we'll all shake our heads through this year and change, like everybody has a story. Somebody's neighbor, somebody in your family, your job, your workplace. So I think for me, and it's probably in the same headspace as a bunch of people, like, and me and Larry were talking about this, we see the light, and right now it's not time to slow down. It's not time to slow down of us being vigilant, right, about our being safe and wearing masks and staying in that front. It's not time for us to slow down to kind of be positive that we're going to get out of it. It's like it's not even the ninth inning. I feel like we're halfway through the race right now, and we got 6 more innings, so to speak. And me and Larry were talking today. We don't know what the next 3 months are going to be, so we're all hoping everything lines up. But I think we have to stay. Yes, we see the light, but like we all got to be in the resilient headspace right now, all of us. And I'll acknowledge you guys for hosting this. Like you guys are doing it with consistency, like from day one with Jerry, right? Joseph, I told you that, and you guys keep the pulse going. Like right here, all you guys keep the pulse going. So it's fun to be on here, but yeah, resilience, and it's not going to stop. And when we get back, we're all going to learn, right? Game 1, what percentage is that? Game 2, how does it work? Game 3, do you look at the person next to you and say, hey, keep your mask on, or hey, we both got vaccinated. It's like there's a whole journey we have ahead, but I think we're all pretty pumped. I've been telling people the stadium's going to howl when we get back. HOWL. And we've all been dreaming of the entire stadium singing like a BBB game. I'm not gonna say like a Bayern Munich game because they don't sing in that stadium, but like a BBB, like a BBB match, and all 80,000 people are singing. Like I think now is going to be our tipping point at LAFC when we all get back and we all feel safe. I think all the magic is about to happen this year.
Nice.
I said it.
There it is. Shikaria would disagree with you on that. I'll just say that. But at least on the supporter side in Bayern. You're right. And, the loudest moment I ever had in our stadium was Leon. I think we could agree to that, right? Your ears hurt after that.
I don't know. I would have to argue against that, Joseph.
What do you think it was?
When freaking Seattle received that trophy, that little moment.
You know what? You're probably right.
God.
Well said.
I don't think I didn't even hear them or anything that was going on in there. But yeah, I think that's the loudest we've ever been.
Yeah, it's again. I think both of those will be beat the day we all get back into that place. Yeah, I know it'll be like it'll feel like going to the greatest mass you've ever been to, just a full-on religious experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple of dreams of us being back in there, putting our scarves up, and in one of them we were like crying and just happiness, and with scarves up. So my 6-year-old, she was asking me the other day that she wants to go to a game. So I said, we got to wait, baby girl. So soon.
So yeah, I want to touch up on something that Larry brought up, and he was saying about the bubble and the CCL. And I was just wondering, and we were wondering how that experience was in itself. And then not just with that, but you're running with El Piojo Herrera and with Club America in itself. So if you could just tell us a little bit about that.
Give us all the juicy stuff, okay?
Well,
Come on back.
look, as I've said before.
Oh no! Tell us some new stuff.
No. We roll up in Mexico City to that draw in what was that? December, Rich? December of 19. Yeah.
Yep.
And Brother Orosco is doing what he does. He's a producer, and he's trying to get us in the right pictures and get a little TV time and make sure that people know we're there. And the real issue on the way in was nobody cared that we were there.
Nobody cared.
And he saw Herrera coming in and was like immediately all over him on the red carpet with step and repeat, and got some pictures. And the guy didn't know who he was taking a picture with. He didn't care. He was like the most popular guy there.
Good.
And then I did the one thing that everybody told us not to do, which was we drew Leon. Because everybody on the technical staff knew that on the side of the bracket we were on, that was the toughest match in the first round, and sure enough, we drew it. And then I think, the way that thing unfolded in that match, and the red card on Edward and the BS from Ochoa, I think there was just like this anger where we were all in different places, yet communicating, and people were just angry. And I know a bunch of people said the same thing, but I got a text from John Thorington that said, we're going to beat him with 10 men. Watch. And that was at halftime. And then we went and we beat him with 10 men. And my buddy Ante Razo punched him in the eye, and
Nothing happened.
It didn't happen, except it's on video.
Allegedly on video.
Yeah, you're right about the anger. I think it was the first time on this podcast where we had like 4-letter words dropped. I think it was. Yep. I think Joseph's been there since the beginning. I've been listening since the beginning, and I think we all were dropping F-bombs and SH bombs. We were like about Ochoa. We were even though we had won, we were still like furious, angry. And I also remember Rich's your post game live Instagram party. That was also enjoyable.
I never go live. I literally never go live. And man, I was just like, and I think it's with the pandemic and we're all texting each other. I just I had to see people, and we just went for it. That was awesome. It was like 20 or 30 people, just some good QT. And I think Ray Salcedo nailed it. He said, we were born to be big. If you remember that, he said, and I was like, oh my God, Ray, that's incredible. It literally just happened from all those quick conversations on IG Live that night.
I like that we were born to be big, and then other people say we were born big. We never had a childhood, so I mean, that's pretty true.
Let me add a little flavor on Larry's on our draw experience. So we roll up down the red carpet with all the press. So on the way in, nobody talked to us. Nobody talked to us, and I was like, "Hey, you're Larry Freedman, you're LAG." Like, nobody talked to us. Nobody talked to us.
By the way,
did you wear name tags? That would help.
Yeah.
No, but and then even if he found somebody who wanted to talk to me, then they found out like I'm not the general manager, I'm not the coach. They don't, they don't want to talk to me anyway.
Wow. Diego Garcia's in our PR group, and I was like, I was like, Diego, you got to get us one hit on the way in. And we got nothing, so we're like, okay, let's just get in there, and everybody's playing nice and shaking hands, and all we kept hearing is, "Don't draw the Mexican clubs, don't draw the Mexican clubs, don't draw the Mexican clubs." And if you remember how dramatic the draw was, I think we were last, right, Larry, in our side or something. Like it was just super dramatic. We're like, oh my god, we're next. Oh my god, oh my god. And Atlanta, they got Olympia, something, Honduras or something, and they're all like, yeah. And CFC gets like, El Salvadorian team, like, yeah. And then we're like, and me and Larry were like, I was like, oh my god, the Mexicans are left. Well, it's like all the Mexican clubs are left.
And I was sitting next to the coach from that team from Jamaica.
Yes,
we just wanted to go to Jamaica.
We wanted to go to Jamaica. So when Leon got selected, here's what happened. Is they got selected, and we're all like, inside we're like, and again, we were all told to fear the Mexicans, so then it got called, and we're like, it's like at an award show, you're like, oh my god, like the worst possible thing could happen to us. But Leon jumps up, they come over to meet us, they're basically hugging us, they're so excited, right, for a Mexican team to come to LA, and they've heard all about us, and they know about Vela, so that was really cool. Like they were up, they were pumped. Now, were they pumped a year later? Maybe not. But on the way out of the red carpet, everybody wanted to talk to LAFC. Like everybody, because all the Mexican press were like, all right, who does Leon have? Here's the LAFC team. So they didn't care about us on the way in, but on the way out, and maybe Larry, that was probably indicative, right, of our journey a year later. They didn't care on the way in, and man, on the way out, we were just swinging. So it was actually
everybody knows our name now.
Yeah, see, in a way, it was interesting that we wanted to avoid that, but in a way, it played in our favor. So
oh my god, we're scared.
You did good. I think it was
good. Yeah,
destiny, really.
Yeah, and that's when Larry had his TV moment, and he was the soothsayer, and he predicted it on camera, and we all have that video because we brought it up again. We are in it. Larry, can you say that for the audience right now?
In it to win it.
And there you go.
There it is. Yeah, I mean, I remember that. I remember you guys sending us like hand signals from the seats. So we were all kind of laughing at that. You guys were, we're like, oh, yeah, there's the guys. And it was like, we're just happy to be there, to the point of, oh, by the way, you're going to have to run the gauntlet to get there.
Exactly.
And we did. Rich, you had one other statement you made to me, even from day one. We're a challenger club. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we've changed from that mission, right? Challenge everything. Dude, holding to it all the way through. And I know they big timed you a bit at Club America as well, right? When you went down there?
Oh yes, they did. So afterwards, we're all in our little we're all in our little workshop meetings right afterwards, because once the draft happens the next day, we all have our little notepads and we're acting like we're paying attention, and the guidelines and the rules and the balls and all that stuff. And a lot of the clubs were kind of like bouncing around saying hi to each other and stuff. But yeah, the Medici guys, Larry, if you remember, to our left, like, they didn't even. I mean, I could have tripped in front of them and dropped all my coffee, and they would have just not even looked at me.
They know us now. That's all that matters.
And when I saw him, I did grab him. I was like, Larry, you got to get a picture with this guy. You got to get it. So who would have thought that little fanboy photo with all of us and Piojo, that was the beginning of his end?
Well, and then, he didn't do himself any favors when he made the comment about how, they're a big club and they're more significant than anything in or about MLS.
Yep.
And by the way, our buddy, the president of Leon, who is a super nice guy, but
Awesome.
he was quoted as saying, that first round matchup against us was a matter of life and death. Oops.
Exactly. They chose to die. There it is. Good stuff. I'm going to move forward on this one. We're going to talk about successes for 2021. And I'll start with Rich on this one. If you were going to say what defines success for 2021, what would you say?
I think we're actually it's going to be a spirit in the stadium. It's going to be a feeling. I think everybody's going to know it at the exact same time. And I'll go back to that howling, right? We're all going to know exactly that moment. The kickoff's going to be when everybody's singing, and we're all going to feel it. And I think everybody in their head, when they say that we're back, I think when anybody says that in their head, and we're all probably going to say it in the same window, I think that's success for 21, because we're not going to be able to predict the ups and downs at all. But we're all going to feel that moment when we feel like, man, we're bringing it, and we're all back. So we're back as a club on the football side. The players are going to feel it, and we're all going to have that in our head that, like, it's go time again, and let's get it.
Nice. I love it. Larry, I want to throw it back to you as well. What would you define as success for 2021?
So I think that for me, it's the number 22,902. And 22,902 is the largest crowd we ever packed into that building for that playoff match against the Galaxy. And for me, I want to get the text from Seth Burton or Ben Goldman in PR in about the 75th minute, as I do every match, where they say, "What's the attendance tonight? What are we telling the newspaper?" And I to me, success, again, obviously, right? Shields and cups and rings and all of that. But in this year, coming out of the year that we had, knowing that we got to that point, as Rich said, where we're back, but we're all back. And we're all back together, because we all do need to be a little bit patient, because, as they say, you do the math. If we can have a socially distanced crowd at 6 feet, and 20% is the cap where we are today, you're at about 4,000 people, give or take. And so we've all got to be patient and kind of wait our turn as we're going through this 20%, 33%, 67% until we're back to 100%. But to me, the sweet victory will be that match when we are back at 100%. Everybody can come, and it'll be the first sold out crowd at the bank in the new era, in the post-COVID era.
Brave new world, that's for sure. And I can't wait to be there with you guys. And when you roll into the front, right in front of, where we're always at, we're always meet up, like, just to get that vibe that yeah, this is what we do. This is how we do it. It's just that normal run of play for the day that lets us know that we're fully back. I agree. Thank you, Larry, for that. Because honestly, that's real perspective. Outside of just the footballing standpoint, it's life, real world. So thank you, Larry. Moving forward, I did want to say, this is going to be a fun one. I'll throw it to you, Larry, first on this one. What would you consider your 1 year, 5 year, and possibly 10-year vision for the club?
I think that and maybe this is a Rich-like answer, but the vision's the vision. It's not a 1 year, 5 year, or 10 year, right? And if you go back and you think about our old experience center on Pico, and you walk through the rolled up garage door, say hello to Erica at the front desk, and then go through that door. What did we talk about? We talked about being a global brand, uniting the world city through the world's game, bringing people together, and that's the mission. So I don't think any of that changes, whether it's a year out, 5 years out, 10 years out. And for us, look, we sell all the tickets, so we want to find ways to build the brand and build the fan base and build the supporter culture beyond, the numbers you can fit into the building on any given night. So, we've got a really good friend in Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's a supporter of the club, and we need to have people like that everywhere. And when we have players like, Diego and Brian from Uruguay, we should have a big fan presence in that country. And right. So I don't look at it, in a more traditional business sense of what's the 1 year plan, the 5 year plan, the 10-year plan. And Rich will agree with me that our good buddy, Benny Tran, LAFC's senator, would have a heart attack hearing me say that, because he comes at it from a more of a business consultant perspective where you got to have plans. Mm-hmm. But I think the mission's the mission, and we just keep doing what we've been doing. Keep bringing people together, and building the club the right way, and the rest of it will take care of itself.
Awesome. Right. Maintaining vision. And I think we have. No doubt about that. Rich, I was going to throw that back at you, but I guarantee it's going to be very similar. So if I'm going to say it for you from a footballing standpoint, what would you consider the 1, 5, and 10 success?
Oh, on the sports side?
Sports side.
I mean, all of us on here are addicted to the language of cups and lifting cups. And I think we'll look back later, the magic of being able to lift a cup in your second season. Like that's crazy. So I'm looking for more crazy moments, but we all know that the work has been put in, and those of us who are close to the soccer ops staff, the football folks, those guys have been grinding from day one with a very clear vision, a very clear process, a very clear methodology. You sit there in training, and they're not messing around. Like everything's just moving, and they've been that way from day one, and that's why we have the product that we have in the field. So. Obviously more cups. Every time a player is at the bank and they just look up at the north end when they had a spectacular moment, you see it in their eyes. You see Diego Rossi's a chill guy.
Yeah.
We're like, man, I mean, those pictures of Leon, and I will watch that over and over. I mean, he looks right to you guys in the north end, and he's just flying across there. Like, that's just joy. Brian Rodriguez didn't have, 50 incredible moments in the stadium. But man, he had those few, and he still looked right to you guys. Like it could be your day one at the club and your first kick, and they just look and they look and they look. So on the football side, continuing to see the players embrace that what we have is special. The community we have is special. The fans that we have are special. The North End is super special. And then we obviously are going to perform in the field. But I think it's that combo on the field, because we're not going to be able to win every game. When you talk to sports people every season, 20-something teams lose. Every season. So yeah, the odds of us being 1 in 20-something every single year, not great, but let's make those runs. And the players know too that the fans can stiff when you got heart on the field. I cannot wait for Moon. Cannot wait. Me and Larry have had a chance to spend a little time with him, and I mean he's just like laser focused. He's in the zone. You kind of felt that way with Sifu when he came. You felt the same way with Chicky when he came. But those guys weren't like they were there. They were there to play. They were there for business. And we all smell that, and we're fans. Me and Larry are fans. We're not. We don't make the picks. We don't call the plays. So when we're at games, like we're fans, just like you guys are, and it's just really fun to see, because we know when the players have heart and they get it and they get that this is a special place. So I think in the football side is that combo. The ops side and the players get it, how special this is. And then obviously let's get some wins in the field.
Love it. Naturally will come, right? Just with what we're building.
I think it will.
Nice. Caesar, you have a question, don't you?
I do, and it's kind of let's see. I don't know how you guys gonna take this one, but there's a little bit of rumors out there, obviously, of like what and who's gonna be our sponsor, and so I just want to know how excited you guys are about the new sponsor, and how lovely it's gonna look on the new kit, and how is this partnership going to be better than the previous one, or I don't know, any insight we can.
I want to let Larry answer that, but Caesar, who's your source for this information?
Oh,
he doesn't have any, but
Dang, you can be scary, Rich. Wow, I just got a flash of you interrogating somebody.
Yeah, no,
Like
we
in a
just
cell.
we just love to run with anything that LAFC posts, and then everyone's just making like, just fun and games, just like the ones you like to have on Twitter with us when there's a new sign in and stuff. It's all fun and games, right?
All right, Larry, new partner.
Well, first I would say that we had a great partner for those first 3 years. If you look back and you think about where YouTube TV was when they agreed to be our inaugural jersey partner, they were coming off those experiences where they had the big presence in the World Series, and the way those games were framed, it looked like you were watching them on YouTube, right? Because they had the red button right there in the corner of your screen, and everybody was talking about it coming out of that World Series. And so in that moment, to have them believe in us was really special for us. And I don't know that we could have had a better partner in crime than Matt Ross. Matt Ross is a true football aficionado. He is a great human being, and he will always be a part of this family. And we will have an ongoing relationship with YouTube TV. It's just going to be different. And I think our new partner, assuming we have one, hypothetically, is going to resonate in a different way. I think there's going to be a different kind of connection with our fans. And I think that the brand itself is the mark, the word is pretty cool in and of itself. So when people see it on the front of the jersey, they're going to think that's cool. And so I'm pretty excited about it. And then, similar to how we were very fortunate that we had a person affiliated with and leading our partner at YouTube TV, like Matt Ross, who was an evangelist for our club and a believer in our club. We've got some folks with our new front of jersey partner, soon to be announced, that really believe in what we're doing. And some of them are very, very steeped in the culture already, which is great. And I think it's going to be a fun ride. I really do. So I'm happy about the way things have played out. And I hope that when we unveil our new kit, people are going to love it, and they're going to see what we see. And, the proof will be, as they say, in the pudding, as, we get out there and our new partners find their way into our community and establish relationships. But I'm pretty excited about it.
Nice.
Sounds like it's definitely worth the wait, right?
I'm biased, but yeah.
Love it.
And look, I think Rich and his crew did an incredible job on our, new secondary kit. I think it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So get ready.
Awesome.
Is there a timeline for either of those?
Well, hey, we're kicking a ball in about 30 days, so we better get to it, right?
Right.
I mean, we got to give you, a chance to, order it online, have it delivered, or find your way to HQ at the stadium, or do it through the Postmates app. We got to give you time to get it and have it ready to roll.
Yep. I think everyone's wallets are ready right about now. So.
Oh yeah, my Stimmy is going to LAFC.
Well, that's why we waited. We were waiting for the Stimmy to hit everybody's bank account.
Between LAFC and ACFC, Stimmy's gone.
I already spent my stimulus. It's about a new car, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Might as well, man.
My car died, so I had to get a new car. So.
I just need the right stickers and everything to make it proper.
Yeah. Speaking of that, thank you to Black and Gold Running Club. Sent me a couple stickers, so shout out to you guys. Thank you, Neil.
And then Caesar, you had another kit question, didn't you?
Yeah, but I think we're gonna jump on to the next question for Jason. I think you're.
Yes. Yeah, this question is for both of you guys, and it kind of piggybacks off what Larry, you were saying about getting the 22,930. You were saying, what's your advice to the faithful on how they can help to get us back into the bank, which we all want to get back into? We also want to get outside the bank for tailgating, but what's kind of advice to all of us, to all the fans out there, so we can get back into the bank soon?
Well, I think Rich hit on it a little bit earlier, which is, nobody can let their guard down, right? Wear the masks, be safe. If you can get the vaccine, get the vaccine. Don't put yourself in a position where you're at risk. And when we're back in a socially distanced environment, it's going to be critical that everybody go with the flow. No, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the experience necessarily exactly as we all remembered it or want it to be. But in order to get to that point, we all need to follow the rules when we're in the building in a socially distanced environment. Wear the masks. Don't, it's going to be an irresistible urge, right? But Jump for LA Football Club, we're going to have to kind of modify that a little bit. And, be vigilant, follow the rules, and be patient. Because, there will be eyes upon us. LA County will be watching. Games will be on television. People will be watching us on television from the state, from county health, from wherever. And, if as long as we are going with the protocols and keeping things orderly, we'll get from that 20% to the 33%, et cetera. Because, it's only the beginning of the equation when the governor says, okay, I'm modifying the tiers, and if you hit the red tier, you can have 20% in the building. Behind that 20% are all kinds of protocols that the governor's task force and LA County will lay out on how this all actually unfolds. So as we provide that information as it is given to us, to our fan base and people that will be coming, help us help you. We're all in this together. And the more we all just kind of toe the line and follow those protocols, the better off we're going to be, and the quicker we'll progress through these different levels.
I just gotta say,
There
a
you
comment.
go. That is beautiful.
Gary Logan, I didn't see that comment. Social distance for LA Football Club. That
Yeah.
Gary,
Ole,
awesome.
ole.
Yeah.
Ole. Yeah. We're gonna have to do that for the time being. Yeah. And then you were talking about the 20%. This is kind of an extra question. Does that include staff and a stadium staff, players?
No.
No. So
Nice.
last year when we had no fans, the number was 300 human bodies total. That was players, coaches, medical staff, trainers, the fire department with the ambulance, broadcast, media, 300 total. The 20% is the seating bowl.
Cool.
So, you'll still have, security, the press. Hopefully we'll be serving food and beer. So we'll have, the concessions folks, ushers. But yeah, the 20% is just take the 22,000 and do the math.
Which we've been trying. We've been playing with that a bit, no doubt. But agreed. We just got to play our cards right. That's what'll get us back home again. And it is home for all of us. I wanted to jump it. Caesar, do you want to toss your question now? Are you up for that one?
Yeah, sounds good. And this one is over for Rich, and this one has to do with the Adidas Originals. And can we expect like a beautiful partnership in the rise, or was this like a one-off thing, or what about like for those unlucky fans who didn't get
Who's your source for this, Caesar?
Dude, gonna get like a dead chicken on his doorstep tomorrow morning.
Warehouse shoe sale, Nikki.
Yeah.
They're all
First of all,
a lot of shoes.
Mark Lopez, you got to get that comment up there. Did you guys see that? Dale, vaccinate.
Hey, awesome.
You got to give Mark some love. Mark, thank you for that. You got to leave that one up there. He gets love for that one.
Yes, he does.
First of all, we all send our incredibly heartfelt apologies for those who did not get a pair of Sambas. A lot of people don't know how the inside Christine's like, me, what size are you?
I'm a 6 in women's.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Noted. So what people don't, not a lot of people understand. We try to get it out there, but we were the first. We blew through the Adidas Originals wall. We are Adidas Sports. Football clubs are Adidas Sports, and they do not just say, "Hey, Caesar, go talk to the Originals guys and make some kicks." Never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Never happens. I think it was Real Madrid. I think it was Bayern. I forgot the third club off the top of my head. And nobody in MLS has ever broken through the Adidas Originals wall, and it's just a testament to all of us to showing up. And Adidas, but the Adidas execs who were at our matches and who were in Portland and LA, they had to keep talking about us to Europe and Germany, specifically at HQ. And Larry knows this, and they just kept telling our story. You guys got to see what's going on in LA. You have to see what's going on in LA. Obviously, terrace culture is big, for Adidas as a brand, and all they kept bringing back to home base is that terrace culture was happening in LA. That's it. And that's huge. And they want to be on that. And so they begged the Originals folks to literally throw in their global production line a Samba shoe for this club in LA. And that was a Herculean task in itself. And to do those special drops, they can't make 20,000 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
It's also a risk. It's never been done. So the under 2,000 pairs of shoes that were made was a complete risk. It was a complete bet, and none of us could have expected. I think it was 7 minutes that they were gone when they went out to the public. Mm-hmm. So yes, it was actually my best and worst day on LAC social media because I was serious. I was on our IG and we had this amazing photo shoot in the backyard of Dweezy and the FCFC Pods crew. We had videos, we had photos, we had an amazing crew of there. People just love Adidas. Half of that content has never been seen because when the shoe dropped and they were gone, the last thing we wanted to do was post 15 more amazing photos and videos about this Samba because the middle finger would have been everywhere on our Instagram. So that morning, I think it was like 9:30, and Tim Nikoloff is at Adidas in LA, and he's like, Rich, this is so amazing. You know, we sold out in 7 minutes. And I was like, Tim, did you look at our Instagram? Have you seen those comments? It was literally the most vitriol I've seen in an entire LAC history on Instagram on one post. And I said, yo, Tim, and I was cussing at him. I was like, what the F are you talking about? This is terrible. Like, this is terrible. We don't try to do things to exclude people. We don't try to do things that make people sad. That's not like, it's like the balance is like a community. It's not a hype brand. It's a community hype brand. Mm-hmm. So like we got to feed the people. Like, it's not fun to see people starving, you know, outside the gates. That's not what me and Larry get excited about.
We're like, please, sir, can we have some sambas?
And look at Christine. She just wanted a loaf of bread. Just a little samba. I don't want to say no to Christine. So yeah, exhilarating, but it wasn't our master plan to create something that people couldn't get access to. That's not what we're about. So I tell that story, Caesar, because I also yelled at Tim in a good way, and we're friends. Mm-hmm. I was like, we gotta make it up to people. We have to come back with more. So what I'll tell you is that we're coming back with more. That's all I'm gonna tell you, Caesar, because you and your sources, I got to see if you uncover it. But we want to build a long-term relationships.
I don't think I need to. There's plenty of people on here that are gonna jump onto Twitter right now, and it's on Twitter already.
Everybody's dropping their shoe sizes, and like
Rich, are you getting all these shoe sizes?
This 9.5 like me, so it's like a lot of 9.5s are.
The first 10 sizes right here. Joseph, take note. We're gonna take care of them later because they're watching late night.
Oh wow, there it is.
Wow. Oh my God, Oprah.
I'm not too.
You heard him, guys.
You know you're in. I see you.
Dang.
Sorry,
there it is.
Yes, Pee-wee.
Yeah, Rich, I got to borrow that notepad from you, sir.
Yeah, but long-term relationship, and hopefully we'll break down walls for MLS, which we've been happy to be a part of that. You know, that we're the club that's breaking down walls, but it was just a monster success on everybody's front. Christine, I'm sorry you didn't get your kicks, but just your energy of wanting more kicks helps us get more kicks.
Thanks.
Awesome. That's
I'm gonna get more kicks soon.
Yeah, and Tim is awesome from Adidas, by the way. He's legit. He's all about it. So he knows what we're about. He's one of the believers. That's for sure. That's for sure. Moving forward, I know we talked about originals. Christine, you had a question.
Yeah, so I just want to ask this one last question so we can get to the actual main event of the show, Larry. So I know the lights guys have been coming through. We got the Academy kids, and then of course you have your main roster. For you guys, who are you personally really excited about seeing train this month and play in the first few games? Who are you watching?
Go, Larry.
Me? Well, there's this guy who didn't play the bulk of last season, and he showed some flashes of brilliance early, and then he showed some flashes of brilliance at the end. And as we know him, he's pretty understated, but inside he's hyper competitive. So I'm pretty interested to see another full season of Carlos Vela. Because
well played.
for as nice a guy as he is, and he is, and for as genuinely happy as he was, for kind of his understudy, Diego Rossi, to get that golden boot, you can bet that when he puts his head on the pillow at night, he's thinking about getting his golden boot back.
Wow.
So that is what I am looking for. And of course, Moon. Of course.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I got to get the download about him later from you. What about you, Rich?
I said early, buy that seafood jersey.
Yeah,
Nice.
I said
Love seafood.
I don't know what episode it was, but I said Sifu is like our next Atuesta, or he is like our he's the best partner for Atuesta. Like, I don't know, those two guys there is like.
Caesar, who's your source? Just kidding.
I texted Larry early when we first started seeing him playing. I was texting there early. I was like, "Get that seafood jersey." I'm telling you. Plus, I mean, how cool does Sifu sound? I mean, it feels global.
Yeah.
Right. So we need. I'm partial to the cool nickname. If you have a cool nickname, I'm looking forward to seeing you play.
Right, could set out a really cool autograph using that. Yeah.
And I want to see the local kid. I want to see our friend Trejo. I want to see that kid.
Yes.
I'd like to see a surprise of one of the new guys. The Moose was super fun to watch last year. I mean, he scored some goals that we needed him in big games, and he put it away. So, Joseph, you say challenger. Like we'd love to see those. Those youngsters that none of us are expecting to step up. I mean, when Opoku hit that rip in the Champions League, I mean, that was and Bob called it. If you guys remember in the broadcast, you literally hear him call it. Oh man, I mean, that kid's face, like that picture that we got from that match and from that goal, like I want a lot more of that.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
All right. So, I want to make sure we have enough time for this. I know we're a little over time already, but I, like Larry and Rich, am a huge fan of games, pranks, and practical jokes. So I really wanted to play the Newlywed Game with you guys because I heard that you guys are basically work spouses. Is that correct? Would that be accurate? Is that an accurate description?
First of all, we both said yes to the invite.
Who's your source, Christine?
Yeah. But we've never been on
couple?
the same. We've never been on the same podcast, right, Larry? We've never been on the same thing. We always split it
Right.
up. I'll get Larry, and I'm next, that kind of stuff. So
Right.
when we were hinted of this format, I think we both naturally just said, "Yeah."
Okay, so for you youngsters who've never seen the Newlywed Game, basically I'm going to ask one of you a question. You're going to write down the answer on your notepad, and the other person is going to tell us what he thinks the correct answer is out loud. So the first question is about Rich. So Rich, you're going to write down your answer for this one, and Larry's
Okay.
going to tell us what he thinks the correct answer is. All right,
This is
so
amazing,
Caesar,
amazing.
go for it.
All right. So the first one is, what is Rich's go-to alcoholic beverage of choice?
Tequila.
All right, and the answer is...
I'm gonna flip it on Larry.
Ooh!
Oh, mezcal.
Now
I was right there.
Technically, every, and I'm gonna probably flip the order. Every tequila is a mezcal. Technically,
Oh, it is?
technically,
I didn't know that. Okay.
an agave-based spirit. But the mezcal out of Oaxaca, I'm actually all day in the mezcal. Zignum is my favorite mezcal brand. So, Larry, you don't know me.
Wow,
Yeah.
Larry.
I'm
mean-
embarrassed.
Yeah, I am too, because this is supposed to be the easy one, but so we gotta make up for it. Joseph, you're up.
Oh, it's on me. All right. So this one, who is Rich's favorite football player of all time?
Oh, I'm supposed to tell you that?
Yeah, so Rich
Yeah.
is going to write this
Easy.
one down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do your best. Just best guess.
I honestly, of all the conversations we've had, this is not one of them. Yeah, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Hugo Sanchez.
Okay.
I don't buy many jerseys with player names.
Mhm.
I have a couple, and actually, I don't have a favorite player. But I guess if I bought your jersey, there's something about you that I find interesting, and it's going to be this guy.
Oh,
That's an
Mario
interesting one.
Balotelli.
Mario
Alright.
Balotelli.
Nice.
Okay.
I wouldn't have
I'm
guessed that either.
0 for 2. This is
Okay.
terrible. It's a
Larry,
train wreck.
I have faith in you for this
Okay.
next one. All right.
Okay.
If Rich was banished to a luxury desert island, what 3 non-essential items would he take with him?
He was
3
banished.
3 non-survival items he would take with him to a luxury desert island.
I'm gonna take one guess.
Literally your face.
After.
So I'm guessing, and he's writing them down.
Yeah.
Okay. 3. Blah, 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 blah. He's got to have his phone.
I was
Okay.
going to say that because we always see Rich on Twitter. And
Yeah. He's got to have his Beats headphones.
Ooh.
And his black and gold Adidas track jacket.
Man,
Wow.
you should have said mezcal.
True.
Dang.
All right, Rich.
And the answers from Rich are
Nespresso.
There's an LAFC cup.
So you said
Kettle
Nespresso,
chips.
kettle chips.
I didn't even know you were
LAFC
allowed
cap.
to eat kettle chips.
Espresso, kettle chips, and LAFC.
Oh wow.
No carbs, Rich. What are you doing?
You said no. Oh yeah, that's true. Those aren't survival, right? They're just you just need them.
the cap is fitting though. I gotta say,
True.
it is. It
Even
really
the
is.
little Rich doll had a cap.
He did have a cap.
Right. I mean, my first experience with my own cap was thanks to Brother Rich. So, yes, that's for sure. The Sage once again.
Oh, for
All right,
3.
here's another one. Larry, in another alternative universe, here we go again. Rich would be famous for what? What would he be famous for? In alternative universe.
In another.
Basically, in another dimension, in an alternate universe, Rich would be famous for.
He would be either a game show host
Oh wow.
or a guy on the whatever they call that at the carnival.
Oh, like a barker?
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm gonna say like a
Okay.
salsa dancer or something like that.
So Rich would be a carnival
LAFC
salesman.
Central. I like your answer.
so dancing with Rich. There it is.
This might be the most magical moment in Heart of LAFC history because the answer written on my paper before Larry said anything is
Oh
No!
Hey!
He
Carnival
said
Barker.
Carnival Barker. I've never even heard of those two words
look it up.
together.
Look up Carnival Barker.
Step
You see amazing
right
little
up.
images of guys saying, "Get in the carnival. It's gonna be amazing tonight." Larry, I can't believe you said Carnival Barker. And we did
Wow.
not talk to this because we didn't know anything about the questions ahead of time.
That just
That
sealed the
was
marriage
good.
right there. Oh my
I wonder
goodness.
if they were like,
By the
Like
way, our staff knows I hyped everybody on The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. If you haven't seen it, we had a special Zoom call tonight with our new partner and some people, and I texted them the "This Is Me" video from the movie from The Greatest Showman. And as cheesy as you might think it is, that pumps me up. The Greatest Showman. Let's go.
Wow,
I
you
love it.
totally
Larry-
redeemed yourself, Larry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Larry probably went 0 for 3, 0 for 4.
Ah, it was terrible.
He redeemed himself with that one. Like,
Yeah.
that's like plus bonus points
It's
right
like,
there.
it's like when you don't touch the ball for 89 minutes and then you
And
score.
score the
last
game.
minute.
Yeah.
That's totally you. Oh my god. All right. So this next portion, Larry, you're gonna write down your
Oh,
answers,
thank
and
God, I can't get it wrong.
Rich, you're gonna try to tell us what you think is the correct one. So
Roberto says
Caesar.
we're texting each other. We're not. I see these comments. We were not texting.
no, they were
I'm
not.
telling you, this is good.
All right, go for it, Caesar.
All right, sounds good. So, Rich, what is Larry's go-to alcoholic beverage of choice?
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, that's not the question, but you can answer that too if you want.
Sorry.
There's a beer guy.
Okay, I see. I have to go a little lower. Okay.
What is it, Rich?
So
You're a beer guy. There's the backyard beer guy. He loves
Yeah,
his
but-
beer.
It's more specifically.
Miller.
Like,
Wrong. Show him, Larry. Show him.
Coors Light.
everybody knows.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Even
There's Casey Sosa knows.
this Coors Light.
Oh, there it is.
I never have it at my
All right,
house. So I never.
that was the practice. That was the practice.
I knew it was one of them.
It doesn't. It's
I
not
knew-
an
I knew
official
it was one of
question.
them.
It's fine.
That was a test right
Oh,
there.
so
I
he's
think-
not 0 for 1.
I said beer first.
No,
but
that
I
was
wasn't
that was a
sure.
test.
I was trying to stall. I was trying to stall, and you guys made me give the actual brand because I didn't forgot which one it was.
All right, so here's the real question.
We have
Where did
partners,
Larry?
so I'm not used to saying the name. We have partners, so I don't usually say Larry's favorite beer name. Larry.
All right, Rich. So where did Larry take you on the first date?
Yeah. So on your first
Bev-
date, where did you
Beverly
take?
Boulevard and La Brea, a beautiful brunch spot called Lulu's that Larry and I have already made.
Oh wow!
After our
Correct
vaccines,
answer.
we're going to make plans to hang out and have a. Is it 5 years, Larry?
Actually,
years ago?
it's funny. I did the same thing that Marcus did. It's
It
6.
was 6 years. 6 years
Yeah.
ago, me and Larry had lunch there on our first date,
Amazing.
Dang.
and we split the bill. He paid. I don't know who paid.
Okay, Rich. What did Larry get for your dad based on a backyard conversation among Larry, Beta Shore, and your father? What did he get for him?
It was an LA Rams. Was it a game guide, a program of a game?
I don't know. We'll see. I hear the Sharpie. It was a LA Rams
Rainbow?
versus Eagles program.
Eagles. Yeah, man,
Yes.
thank you,
Good
Larry.
job.
Nice.
It was
So
the
far, 2 for 2.
it was the first Rams game that his dad went to,
Yep.
and that's why God invented eBay.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
What a nice gift.
That was a very nice gift.
Fantastic find. Ooh, looks like we're heading to Dortmund now, guys.
Ooh,
I know. So, Rich, what was Larry's favorite meal in Dortmund?
Oh. What is it called? Oh, come on. Did I get a call Lifeline?
what?
Call it a lifeline.
You want a 50-50?
Yeah, I got a 50-50. Oh, man,
Can you
Joker,
describe
man.
it? Maybe you can describe it out loud, and Joseph
Uh,
maybe can give
would
you
you
some
like-
hints.
Would you like to call
It's not
Casey?
it's not a schnitzel. It's a
No.
oh man, there's something in
right
Dortmund
there.
that it's known for. I know.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
I know
can't
what
get
it
off
is.
I can't remember it. I can't. I know the beer, a Brinkhoff.
There it is.
Currywurst.
I knew it. It was like I knew it. But Larry loved the Brinkhoff.
Brain
Yeah, that was
coffee,
good.
delicious.
Mm.
In
Okay.
the little glasses.
And it was like the most serious brewer ever, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Yep.
Oh man, he was like angry brewer. It was funny. You couldn't joke with the guy. It was all about serious. But yes, the currywurst, guys, is like flowing everywhere through Dortmund. Everywhere you go, you can get currywurst, and it all has its own little vibe, and it's fantastic. Don't
Gotta
miss
go
out
back.
on that. Dude, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm already like,
Yeah.
good old days, right? For sure. All right, good. Well, there it is. Caesar, your turn, sir.
It's Jason's turn.
Oh,
Was it Jason's? All right,
Yeah.
go for it.
all right. This one, what was your best practical joke on Larry and where did it take place?
Oh. Oh man. It must have been good.
Yeah, he wrote quick, so
Casey, will you help me out? Casey's gonna comment right there. What was it? Oh man. Oh. Mexico City escamoles. If you know what escamoles are.
What is escamoles?
all right, we got to hear this story.
Larva. I'm blanking. What kind of larva are they?
And-
Like
larva?
silkworm or
and-
something?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Ant larva. It's a delicacy. It looks like a nice, beautiful quinoa. And I had Jeff Huber in football ops and Larry. And who was else with us? Is that just three? Larry? Just three of us? No, Benny. There was somebody
Benny.
with.
Yeah,
So,
Benny.
but I ordered it. I did not tell Larry and Jeff what it was. It's beautiful. It's baked in garlic. I mean, it's garlic and butter. It's delicious with fresh corn tortillas. But yes, I ordered ant larvae for them, and I just watched them eat it. And then I took a then I made them pose for a picture that they're eating their first ever escamole. So I had all the evidence before I told them
Wow.
the truth. And then I put a little collage together. That was pretty amazing. But yes, it was ant larvae.
How'd it taste? Larry?
It actually wasn't bad, but he knows that there's no chance I would have even tried it if I had known what it was.
Try to answer my
Yeah.
Better question: would you ever eat it again?
No.
Oh,
Oh
No.
goodness. Well, there was this Korean like snack that old like my parents' generation would eat, and it's like silkworm, and that we would used to like make each other eat it as a dare, or if we lost the card game. But yeah, Larry, I might open up a can of those for you. All right, this is the last question in the Newlywed Game. So far, Rich is 3 for 4.
Killing it.
Pretty
He's
good.
killing it.
All right. What gift does Larry always bring back from Mexico for you?
Oh, he has a
Oh,
handy.
wow.
Look at that. Oh my
we
god.
get visuals.
Nice.
Okay, it is a skull.
Larry signed this one. Larry said, in recognition of your unyielding passion, commitment, authenticity, and most of all, your brotherhood best, February 5th, 2018, the Sugar Skull.
Wow, that is so
I
sweet.
try for the black
my
and
desk.
gold skulls, but sometimes I
On my
can't
desk.
find black and gold.
That is so sweet.
Wow. He knows
All
me
right.
much. I don't know him at all.
But your
Hey.
questions were about what he did for me. It wasn't a lot of questions about just him. So it was a little bit easier. I think my questions were a little easier. I'm going to give him that. My questions were a little easier.
Very generous
Okay.
of you. You made
but I
me
mean,
feel
even
better.
deep in the count, Larry, you did hit one out of the park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
You
crazy.
did. You did.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was
That
super
was.
random.
Carnival Barker? That's
I know.
insane.
I mean, you weren't hitting for average. You were swinging for the fences, and you caught one. So
It was that Kirk Gibson home run right there.
right.
Amazing.
Hey, I was at that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There it is. There it is. So I did want to throw one other thing out there before I let you guys escape for the night. Unless you want to stay on for the rest of the madness that we do, your choice. The Orosco code. We got to bring it up. How does this develop, Rich? How do we get to these amazing ideas and clues? Because honestly, it's fantastic.
It's a little nerve-wracking. First of all, we do things a little different. We actually, for those who were in on it, we were excited to introduce Moon to a core group of fans, and it's our trust circle. So I think our spirit is like, this is so much fun, like for all of us, right? This is sport. This is fun. So I think me and Larry and many more, like from day one, we weren't super rigid on like, this is what sports teams do. This is how they interact with fans. This is what they say before the press release. I always say, like, we don't really hide behind press releases, right? We take a stand. We're straight. We're going to not spin it. We're going to own it when we make mistakes. So on the heels of that, we had the Corey Baird signing, and my filter is always like, is there a business risk? So I'm not gonna give any hints unless the players sign. I'm not dumb enough to do hints.
Yeah, no, for
If he
sure.
gets guessed and this poor kid, like the contract blows up, like I wouldn't be here on the podcast anymore if I did that.
Yeah.
So I figured it's safe to kind of have fun with some of these announcements, and it's an experiment because nobody ever does this. Like, how many sports teams are like giving hints of somebody they're about to announce? But the clues are nerve-wracking for me because if I make it too obvious and if 18 people are guessing the same person, you know, I'm going to get 15 text messages from people inside, including Larry, like, what the F are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous.
They're not even
I'm with
close to
Al.
being too obvious. They're
Yeah, I
not
think-
even.
but
They are
that's why,
very
like,
obscure, Rich.
I don't have a lot of planning, so I'm on my phone going like, oh my God, B, Barracuda. Like I just have to it's not very well planned, but the last one, the llama from the lights. And some people still think that we're announcing a player. They think
Yeah,
that's the clues, and like it's like weeks later. It was the llama,
Yeah.
Oh,
which was
man.
fun. But I don't know how I thought of this. I gave all the symbols in the Peruvian flag. Right. First I said S and A for South America, and then I looked at the flag, and there's all these little symbols. It was the crown of oak, and there's a laurel, and there's a tree that makes quinine that treats malaria, and I dropped the symbols in. So I described every single symbol in the Peruvian flag except for the llama.
Mm-hmm.
The llama was in the flag itself. So I thought I was actually freaking out towards the end. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to blow it again. And so it's a little nerve wracking. I guess I get fired up. It's a little unconventional, but I am super scared that I'm going to blow it. So I'm not flexing on everybody. I am kind of like a little scared every time I drop a hint that I'm going to blow it. So it's maybe it's a rush. It's a rush of doing things different, and I think me and Larry and the crew, like, we all have fun with that. Like, how do we take a little swing that's different? So it was a playful experiment that's now kind of fun. Oh, and the llama thing, I wasn't planning on any clues, but then I saw people were they were mentioning me on Twitter saying, where are the clues?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I gotta figure out clues. So like that was all on the fly too. So maybe if I get called out, I'll start giving clues.
How many people have actually figured out any of the clues?
There was
one?
I don't want to give too many hints because there's certain ways I interact with people that maybe if I ignore you, you might be onto something.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to encourage you to keep going because you literally might uncover the surprise. But I try to engage and answer and let you know if you're wrong. This one was kind of interesting because they threw out a certain player from the New England Revolution, and this poor kid was getting blown up all night on Twitter that we were about to sign him, and I was talking about a llama. So there's a collateral damage to this poor kid, and the Revolution posted a picture of him on their Instagram just to, I think, say like he's still with us. So just turned into this, and I was talking about a llama. I swear to God. So there's some fun stuff to it.
Worth every little bit, Rich. I'm telling you, it's gold. It's great in the off season. It's great in the setup. Don't let up. I just get even crazier with it because honestly, guys like Monty, they're up all night trying to figure this thing out. It's
and I appreciate that. I'm not trying to be mean with my clues. By the way, I have not. There's been no BS in any of the clues. So every clue, and I knew I'd lose people if I was totally messing with it. I'm not. So every clue, actually, whoever's the 20 or 30 folks that are putting an effort because I see them, I will never lead you astray. The clue is a real clue, and I'm not going to throw you a curveball. But there might be a second layer to that clue, so I'll leave it there. And it might not be a person. It might be another llama.
Rich is like, this person breathes air, and we're like, oh my God.
Air, oxygen. It starts with an O. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I know Marcial Soto, and I think Mr. Williams, he's probably listening to us right now. Two guys, I think, got the not this last one, but the one before that, which was pretty cool because one of them was a math teacher and my assistant when I do coach. So that was pretty funny. Total luck, right? These guys just pull it off. But, dude, keep it up. Don't let up. We completely love when you guys do this stuff. That being said, I think, well, if you guys want to hang out just to see what we do and kind of nod and laugh at what we do, you're more than welcome to stay on. Otherwise, like, if you're ready to make your escape, dude, we love you guys. It's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
I'm going to let them escape. You need to sleep. It's early tomorrow. I know you guys got an early day. So, again, thank you guys for this unprecedented, awesome night. Looking forward to these next few weeks and all the amazing news that's going to be coming up.
No, thank you. And I apologize to everybody that I was so bad at that game.
Larry, you did good. Come on. Well, we can do a newlywed. We can do a gong show next time. How about that?
Christine, thank you for that idea. Yeah. That was hilarious.
That was fun. So that was a lot of fun.
That's good. Thanks, guys, for everything you do.
Take care.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for also checking in with us today. We are going to do a little run through of some of the news before we cut out for the day. We'll make this quick, of course, and we got some cool news anyway. So, again, thanks to the team of Rich and Larry for coming on once again. You guys are brilliant. Let's kick it off. Christine, what's up with Vegas?
I do not know. What is happening in Vegas?
Well, it definitely doesn't stay in Vegas. Basically, again, we have this relationship. We've talked about it. We saw Cherundolo's interviews. All good things. That's for certain. They're here. They're our relationship. We could have jumped in it more with the guys, but honestly, we want to see it develop itself because you guys are going to actually be really, really happy with the way things are going to turn out. Christine, I just want to drop it to you. What is your take on this?
About the Las Vegas Lights partnership? Yeah. Well, I was able to talk to some people about them coming and training. I think it's good because they're able to basically mix and match the LAFC players with some of the Las Vegas Lights players, and then also with some of the academy players. So there's kind of 3 different pools that is sort of like becoming like a Venn diagram. So I think that's really positive, and then it's just going to be able to give some of our newer players on the main roster the ability to like move in between that and get a lot more attention and playing time, as essentially like being on the second team. And then we're also just exposed to potentially more talent from the Las Vegas Lights side. So for those players on the Las Vegas Lights, obviously a huge opportunity to train with some of the best coaches at amazing facilities. So yeah, I think obviously Dolo is also extremely well-informed coach who is sort of on the same wavelength as Bob. So I think it's going to be a pretty symbiotic and almost like a seamless relationship that they'll head into. So yeah, I'm excited to see how everybody gels together.
Yeah, it's good, and it also lets us expand our roster fully, and they all get minutes, which is critical stuff. Good news. Also, Caesar, do you have any training camp updates for us? Anything you've been hearing?
Not so much, other than obviously all the guys are at practice. Bob is saying that it's been a good week. It's been a hell of a week, and the guys are excited. He's seen the speed develop to a better pace each day, so which is good. Tomorrow should be a good test for everyone. You know, not just like the potential starting 11, but the role players off the bench. You know, the guys who are gonna be from left at home on certain days, on away days or home matches. So it's gonna be a good test for every single player, from 1 through 30 or however many players we currently have there at camp. I think tomorrow will kind of dictate who earns a contract in a way. Other than the other 2 games that we have against New England in the couple of days and next week, so yeah, I think like I just mentioned, it's a test for everyone, and I think some guys are out there to earn a contract. So tomorrow should again dictate what's to come in the next few weeks. So again, not so much this week in development of what's going on in our club. Tomorrow should give us a clear picture of what's going to happen. If you guys are season ticket holders, you probably received an email either yesterday or today, basically saying that there will be a media day. I'm actually opening that up right now because I signed up for it yesterday, and it's going to be a 30-minute Zoom event to hear from Max on the behind the scenes of the LAFC Media Day 2021, and that's actually at 3 p.m. tomorrow. You have to RSVP. Again, it's for season ticket holders. So again, if you were fortunate to get this, go ahead and take advantage of it. This is a way to get close to what's going on at practice, and hear from the players or whatever's going to be on there. So again, tomorrow is a media day for LAFC, so we should hear more on what happened at the intra squad and what players think of the practice this week, and hopefully we get to hear a little bit from Bob as well.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see, and even the photos that come out of this, just seeing the full interaction with the players, and again, signs of life, signs of progress. So good stuff. Of course, we are marching towards opening day, April 17th versus Austin FC. It's on live, big TV, right? It's all good things. But we also now know that there will definitely be some fans in the stadium and supporters for certain. So you'll get to hear some familiar sounds, even though it'll be a much smaller crowd. But it is definitely real. Match will be kicking off at 2:30 p.m. on Fox 11. Yep, national television. And again, we're in a red alert now, guys. So from what I've seen on the red tier, that means up to 4,000 possibly could be in the stadium by the time we get to opening day, maybe 4,400 if it all plays out right. But it will definitely be limited capacity. We don't know the exacts as to how that's all going to figure out for everybody, but yeah, patience is definitely a virtue. Get the vaccines, get it all right so the tiers can keep improving. That, I think, on our end, just do your part the best you can. and help be a part of the solution. So
Mm-hmm.
that is definitely key. Beyond that, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Anything you want to add, Punk? I see there's an album behind you.
Oh yeah, this week's there are a couple of reasons why I picked this one. It's my album of the week. It's for two reasons. One's because of the Stop the Asian Hate, and the other one is for Women's History Month. It's the band Bad Cop, Bad Cop. If you ever heard of them, it's an all women's punk band. The bassist is Asian. She's awesome. She was just recently on the Mike Herrera podcast interviewed. She does bass and does backup vocals. So, I always pick an album, but I was like, you know what? I want to do something meaningful for what's, for that. So shout out to Bad Cop, Bad Cop. I've been trying to, every now and then I'll send a tweet out to them. I want them to do a song for Angel City FC. They're from the Los Angeles area. I think it'd be a great combination. They do have a cool song called Simple Girl. My daughters like that song. I think that'd be a cool song for Angel City FC. But that's my album of the week, and Bad Cop, Bad Cop. Everybody check them out. They're a great band. And so that's the album of the week this week. So I'll definitely post something about it. I picked out the album with the kind of luchador in the front. I even have my homemade luchador. If you guys were at the games 2 years ago, LAFC luchador. It's on a Dickies shirt. I kind of did that, but that's my album of the week. So I almost forgot. Thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot about it. So.
Right. It's over your shoulder. We can't let you miss out on this. As amazing as this show has been, it would be incomplete without an album recognition. So thank you, sir. Caesar, I didn't bug you, but there was a rumor that came out about one of our players today, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one. And it started very early in the day. There's rumors of Palmeiras reaching out or making contact with LAFC regarding Eduardo Atuesta. How reliable and how true that is, not sure. But, I mean, it's something that's coming out of Brazil. It's coming out of some legit, like, Palmeiras sources. We haven't heard much from our side. So, hopefully it stays that way. They're saying that there was like a $3 million offer made or whatnot. In essence, I think many of us can agree that that's not enough. So we'll see where that goes in the next, few days or few months, or who knows, where this will go. But just an FYI, Edward is in his last year of the contract. So at the end of the day, I don't know how it works in MLS when players can sign elsewhere or when they can, like, how Europe players, if they have 1 year left, they can start negotiating when there's 6 months left in their contract. So not sure how that works out in the MLS, but it is his last year in contract. It ends in December of this year. And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out either way, regardless if those rumors are true or not. There should be a contract extension in the talks or something with Atuesta, because for one thing I know for damn sure is he cannot leave for free, because it would suck for LAFC. So
just throw this curveball at you. If Brian gets sold and that DP slot opens up, because that is the real situation, would you throw DP money at Atuesta?
No. And I know a lot of people are probably like, yeah, give him that DP money, give him that DP spot, but no.
Tam and Gam.
He's great. I mean, I'm not saying he's not worth it. Like, yeah, for sure. He's worth that type of money. But no, at this point, we've had him for 3 years without the DP spot. Let's just get him a nice contract for the next year. Doesn't have to be a DP, and then and sell him. In essence, what we could do is give him a nice little fat bonus for staying. There's no rules in MLS that says, we can't give you $2 million sign-on bonus. So in essence, you don't need to do that DP contract to pay out the man. I think he's our best defensive player. I mean, our best midfielder for sure. But a DP spot, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's honestly, he's the pin, right, for the wheel. It all falls apart without him, to be honest. We're good, but cup winning good, we need a twist out there. No doubt about that. Awesome. Christine, anything else we'd want to add in today? Anything that you heard, any rumors, any news that we'd want to add into the mix today?
No, I mean, just to add to that, I was just listening to some news about how much Daryl Dike was offered, and the club denied it. But it just makes me it's another sign that MLS players are going to be able to sell for quite a bit more than they traditionally have been in the past. And that hopefully clubs will have some more say, you know what I mean, more negotiation power as well. And it just feels like Atuesta, not knowing obviously what he actually wants for himself, but it just feels natural that he'll want to eventually move on to a different club. And that just seems like the natural progression for him because he is such an advanced player. So I also don't see us throwing DP money at him either. It seems like just an awkward transition that we would be forcing. Yeah. And also there's, we got to also realize that there are a lot of amazing potential DPs that we could bring on. So as super, super painful as that would be, doesn't seem like strategically the right decision either. Oh, yeah.
So the business of football suggests that extension may not be the case, could be sale, right?
Exactly.
That's the program.
And that's kind of where, like, I was reading is that he would probably sign like a 2-year, 3-year extension, but with like LAFC knowing like I need to be out of here like after this season or like mid-season next year, but no more than that. Like, and again, like I mentioned, it doesn't need to be a DP contract to pay this guy some good money. So
yeah. The only other news I have is I read an interesting article by Alicia on Angels Parade about Janela. So that was a pretty favorable sort of post-mortem on Janela. It was mostly about his stats and how he's been sort of like quietly reliable for us. So that's sort of an interesting point. And I think he's a player that you can kind of go either way with in terms of how you observe him and how effective he's been. So I think we'll really see this next coming season how he's able to perform. And yeah, so there was that. There was one other thing. Oh, and then just before we signed on, I was listening to the LAFC podcast with Max, and I was just laughing because the extra time host was on there, and Weeby, and he went on a no joke like 20-minute rant, just like not a rant, but just like uninterrupted like monologue about how much he loves LAFC and the club. And it was pretty amazing. I haven't heard somebody like go on a podcast and just talk uninterrupted for like that long period of time, but it was fun to hear his passion for this club, even though he's not technically a supporter of this club. But yeah, LAFC has that effect on people. So
nice.
A good episode.
Yeah, the global brand that we're becoming. And honestly, if you watch Extra Time, listen to Extra Time, every time they do a countdown on best players, pretty much all of them except for the goalkeeper debate, we had somebody on the list.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That podcast also, it seems like whenever they talk to an ex-player from MLS, anytime they ask them, hey, what team would you love to play for? You'd come back. They always say LAFC. So it's we're that's like the most popular answer. If you come back and play for any team, they seem to always say we want to play for LAFC.
It's Bob's system, right? It's a player's system, no doubt about it. I mean, even Cherundolo was attracted to us, right, to coach at Lights because of the way Bob's system is and how he's played under him before and sees the front foot type of system that it is. So all good things on our end. We have a right to be bullish this year, everybody. For sure we do. Be confident. Have some swagger. We have the team built for it. Just got to stay healthy. That's key. And good things should definitely come our way. On that note, did you guys see any other standout questions that we might need to address from the panel today from everybody?
All right. Let's see. I did see one here from... I think we were touching up on a subject and then he brought up a good question. I just have to scroll up a little. Let's see.
We'll make that our one question, last question of the day before we break things down and get ready for another week of amazing news from our club.
Okay, I can't see it, so if you can ask it one more time.
All right, last final comments, everybody, and questions. We'll fire off a couple of them if you got them ready to go. We'll see what pops up here. So I did see somebody talking about players going to Europe and who we predict going, and I think if I'm going to predict, I'd say probably either Rossi or Atuesta would be the obvious choices. It's very obvious in that case. Again, my whole debate on our championship this year will be whether those guys are actually still in the roster by the time we get around to playoffs, because I'm a little worried they might not be just because of the value that they are. Caesar's source.
Who is my source? Yeah. I have plenty.
President of Black Army's calling you out, dude. It's out.
Really?
You see this? Yeah.
Who is your source? They're gone now. You can tell us, Caesar. It's just between us and the internet.
You know, they say you can't give up your sources because then you lose them. So
it's fine.
It's gonna be a Carson rat, right?
Right. So I can't give that up. But there's obviously plenty of sources out there that are not even like really close to LAFC, but they just happen to get a lot of news about us way before we even like find out. So if you're up like at 4 or 5 a.m., 6 a.m., you can find a lot of stuff on there like really early, because there's a lot more going on around the world that they're ahead. They're 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 hours ahead of us. So our rumors are always put out there.
Are you saying you're making international calls to like get information regarding LAFC?
He called Palmeiras this morning. That's just the way it is.
We have sources. Oh
my god.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, at Heart of LAFC, we've always been good about not stirring the pot when we know it could hurt our club, and basically being protective as to what the interests are at the time. And if we know something's settled, then we're going to talk about it. But
here's the question that I think I was looking for. Is there anyone from the existing Vegas squad who we think that might make our first team?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I would say as of now, most likely not. I mean, I'm an optimist. Honestly, I'm somebody who thinks that we should look in all places for scouting. But to be brutally honest, there is a pretty big gap in quality between the USL and the MLS. That being said, let's not forget where Musovski came from. So there is always an opportunity for sort of a diamond to rise among the rough. But I think the second team really is most useful for the first team to be able to get their newer players and their second string players to get more playing time, and for there to be that exchange. But I wouldn't expect too much to rise out of the light side in terms of getting into the actual first team roster. And another thing is like pretty much all of those players are not under contract as of now. So I mean, they're there to train and they're there to get their experience. It's a win-win situation for them as well. But I think when you actually do go see their games and see how they play, the MLS they're good. You know what I mean? They're quite good. They're at an elite level. So it's going to take a really good player to rise to that,
I think it's going to be
that same level.
The opposite, where our players are going to go, our young guys are going to go to Vegas and get a lot of experience and then come back and give us some really good minutes.
Exactly. Yeah. They're going to be able to play more games and, just get more attention also, and sort of get more confidence and be the star of the show, things like that.
Yeah. If I'm going to be a brutal realist, I'll say this. I think the better question would be who from Vegas even be on the squad by next season. And I could say that probably the number would be 0.
Probably half. I think they have to keep some.
We're carrying a larger roster, it seems. I think the one thing for certain is another goalkeeper would be needed at that squad, right? Because we only carry 3 right now. So a 4th may be needed. But really, I think the vision of that club is going to completely be based in Los Angeles, and those were developed and scouted by our people. I think you're kind of the odd man out if you're already at Vegas, unless they've already had an eye on you. So the odds are kind of stacked that you're going to see more young kids from our squad showing up rather than somebody that was already existing, especially if they're out of contract. Like, yeah, that's a hard one. It's the hard truth, right? You're forming that squad to basically run the exact same system and style that the mothership is doing, and building into that and fitting into it. And so everyone kind of has a purpose and a plan for development and a timeline. And guys that haven't been a part of the system have to come into this going, what? I wasn't there for preseason. I wasn't for any of that. Yeah. It's a hard ask for sure. All right. On that note, I think at this point, it's been one heck of an episode. So definitely, I think we're going to call this one. Of course, tradition dictates that we do our final word of the day. So I think they're waiting for me. I'm going to go with Caesar first.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, well, I mean, thanks for everyone hopping on once again. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Rich, for one hell of an episode and, keeping everyone entertained tonight. And for the listeners that will be listening to this, hope you guys enjoy this one. This one's a little different and fun. And regarding tomorrow or Friday, for the ones listening in, Friday is the inter-squad match. So next week will be some fun updates. Hopefully we hear, firsthand interviews from the players and what their experience was and on that day in particular. And then hear from Bob specifically on, I don't think he'll give us too much on what players performed the best and what players he expected more from and whatnot. But definitely when, New England comes around, I think we'll have a clear picture of what players have made an impact in this first few weeks of training camp. So other than that, I'm just excited to be building up to the season because I've missed this. I've missed covering, LAFC training sessions, media sessions, and just dissecting anything that comes out because I'm a football head. I can live this and breathe it 24/7. And yeah, I'm excited to give back to you guys whatever I can and looking forward to this season. So you guys have a great weekend and hope to see you guys at the first home game if I'm allowed in there. But yeah.
There it is. Mr. LAFC Punk. You have the floor.
First thing, I forgot to mention the name of the bassist from Bad Cop, Lynn Lee. Just check her up on Instagram. She's got a really cool Instagram. She does cool, fun stuff. But also, I just want to thank Rich and Larry for coming on. Just to you fans, I mean, there's not too many sports teams that do this, that come on these podcasts. And I see your Cooligans. Yeah, I was kind of interacting with
Alexis.
Alexis on his live Instagram show the other day. He was calling. He was mentioning me. I was trying to get him to come on, so it'd be cool. So Alexis, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on too. But again, just first off, Larry and Rich, thank you guys so much. I can't think of any other pro sports teams that do this that with their fans. So you guys, thank you so much. It means a lot. So, and inter-squad match, yeah, that's coming up. My prediction, LAFC will win. So
it's a hard-fought draw. Nice. Christine, you have the floor.
I want to thank Larry and Rich for coming on. This was a historic moment. I don't think they've both been on together on any podcast. That was really fun and so gracious of them with their time and their energy. And they're just great. And, also I want to thank everybody who tuned in to listen. Personally, because of the events of the last couple of days, it's been very difficult for me personally. 4 of the victims of the shooting in Atlanta were Korean women. And, personally, I would love to jump into a hole in these moments. That's my instinct. But I know that as a community, we all need each other to be vocal. We all need each other to support one another. And I just want to tell everybody who has been vocal and vigilant about this issue that you are appreciated, that people do see you, even if you don't feel like anybody sees you. Your voice is very important. I appreciate your voice. And I would encourage everybody to do the work, the daily continual work of educating ourselves, checking ourselves, our thoughts, our own inner prejudices, our own, just developing our perspectives, going out and meeting different people, and making sure that we're reading reliable sources of news, and just doing the work of really learning and becoming more humane individuals. So thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. I had a super fun time, and I really, really needed and enjoyed this episode. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Christine, for everything that you've done on this pod. No doubt, we are all allies here, and if we can do anything, spread any word, any way to contribute, we're here. Without a doubt, we're here. I did also want to thank Christine for coming up with the amazing and crazy idea to get Larry and Rich together for the Newlywed Game today. Mm-hmm. This was her baby, guys. No doubt about it. Yes, we've been talking to Rich. Rich is amazing. Larry's amazing. But there was never this kind of thing, right? Thinking a little different that could gel them together and go like, hey, let's make this a competition. That's Christine. Thank you, Christine, for creating this tonight. Again, to me, this was a pod never to forget. This was perfection. And a lot of it, of course, all of it. Again, thank you, Christine, and thank you for my team, and thank you for everybody for tuning in. And of course, thank you, Larry and Rich, the legends that they are, for taking out the time in this busy lead up to the 2021 season. You guys have no idea how much stuff is moving in the background. We talk about sponsorships, kits, all that stuff. They're like from ground one. It's like an expansion team. They got to figure out how everything works just to get people back in the building again. And they took the time out to talk to all of us today. So again, all love to Larry and Rich. Also want to send my love and support to Mo once again, who is trying his best to recover in a very tough situation. So we love you, Mo. We can't wait to see you in the North End again. We know you'll get back there again. No doubt you are a fighter. We know this. Love you, man. And then, of course, again, thank you, guys. As Christine says, be allies. Fight for what is right for your community. You guys are the fabric that keeps it together, so definitely be vigilant in this process. We are here for you guys. We are here to listen. And, of course, if you want to stay golden, that's how we do it. We fight together. So on this note, everybody, stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.